Due to the coronavirus health crisis, Park City School District has developed plans for what in-person learning may look like once we are able to safely welcome staff and students back into our schools in August of 2020. We have received extensive guidance from our state's health department, the Utah Leads Together Plan, the Utah State Board of Education, our educators, staff, school, and district leaders. This video provides parents and students with a glimpse at what our new learning environments may look like.
Ever since we closed schools for in-person learning on March 13th, 2020, we've been looking forward to welcoming our staff and students back. As we look ahead to this fall, we're excited to welcome back our students for in-person learning. Our priority is to focus on the safety, health, and well-being of our students, educators, and staff. We've spent months working with educators and administrators on plans to reopen schools, guided by clear and stringent health standards as the starting point for all our discussions. Based on information you provided in a recent parent survey, we know that health and safety is foremost on your mind. Here's what our health standards for reopening schools will look like this fall. We expect there will be a simple but strict wellness expectation for students and staff before they arrive at school. Parents and staff are asked to check for the following 6 coronavirus symptoms daily prior to walking to school, riding the bus, or being dropped off at school. The 6 symptoms are a fever of 100.4 or above, a cough, trouble breathing or shortness of breath, sore throat, sudden change in taste or smell, muscle aches or pains. Anyone who's not feeling well or showing any of these symptoms should remain at home. In addition to asking for parent and community support for at-home screening, there will be additional measures in place to ensure the health and safety of students at school. The advice of health experts is clear and must be strictly followed. We anticipate our educators will be wearing masks or face guards. Hand sanitizer will be available throughout our schools. Staff and students will be given regular breaks to wash their hands frequently. Our facilities team will ensure that the school building's frequently touched surfaces are wiped down and disinfected both throughout and between school days. For the regular classroom, we anticipate students will sit with greater distance between them. We will align with our health partners in establishing class size standards. We're looking at many of the practices that were implemented for healthcare as we think about planning for this fall. It is essential that we take these new precautions and maximize academic progress and emotional well-being as we reopen our schools. Our plan is to set up classrooms so that seats have a separation or distance from one another as closely aligned to the 6-foot distance guideline as is possible. We anticipate that this distancing will be in effect throughout the school day, including arrival and dismissal times. This physical distancing is based on our continuing conversations with the Department of Public Health. It is an extremely important practice that helps us to ensure that in-person instruction happens safely and with minimal risk. Health experts have emphasized the importance of limiting the number of people that students come in contact with during the school day. As a result, our plans ensure that we minimize movement throughout the school day. It is anticipated students will remain in their classroom and will use individual materials and supplies throughout the day. It's likely that students will also eat lunch within the classroom setting as we start the school year. We will look for opportunities to have students get outside, take movement breaks, and remain active throughout the day, while also ensuring that we are following health guidelines. At the beginning of the year, we expect there will be no assemblies or large student gatherings. Bus service will be reduced to lower the number of riders on each route to a safe level. We're reviewing bus and transportation requirements to ensure safety for all. We will keep the community updated as we receive more clear information. We expect those to be the major changes to how schools typically have operated. Daily wellness screenings at home before leaving for school and potentially upon arrival to school. Health measures enforced throughout the day, face shields, frequent hand washings, continuous thorough cleaning and disinfecting of the entire school facility. Classroom occupancy limited to allow for a targeted minimum 6 feet of physical distancing, limited student movement in the school throughout the day, and no large gatherings. In addition to these measures, we'll create policies and procedures that create an extra layer of protection for our Park City School District community. That will include creating specific policies for staff and students who are at higher medical risk, either because of their own health or because they live with someone who is at a higher medical risk. We will also need to consider healthy and sustainable workloads for our staff, especially for those who are caring for their own children at home. Finally, we'll continue to partner with public health officials to keep a close eye on how the COVID virus is being contained in each school community. If there is a possibility of resurgence of cases in our classrooms due to a student or staff member testing positive for the virus, it is likely that we will close in-person instruction and move to a remote learning model. These are the most important health standards and actions that form the foundation for us to be able to plan to reopen our schools this coming school year. These health standards have been developed in close collaboration with public health officials and the Utah Leads Together Task Force guidelines. This is the best and most up-to-date information that we currently have as we plan for safe reopening of our schools. As we're all aware, this information may change and we may need to adapt or modify our plans. It's really important that we work closely with health officials so that we can take care of our most valuable resources, our human resources, our staff, our precious students, and our community. We are so appreciative of the Park City and Summit County area for their flexibility, creativity, and empathy during these unusual circumstances. We're all in this together, and that's how we'll get through this moving forward. We also know that we'll need to spend time supporting the social and emotional needs of our youth, educators, and the entire Park City community. This new environment will look and feel different. We're here to help everyone adapt as we usher in these new changes. We know this is a lot to take in, and it will take our continued resilience to be able to work and plan together to ensure that we're responsive to the needs of our students, families, educators, and the community at large. Soon we'll be sharing more details on the reopening of schools, and we'll be seeking your feedback and input as our plans evolve. Our community has already shown strength in the face of COVID-19, and we're confident that spirit will continue to shine through. We're eager and excited to welcome our students back to classrooms and to see the joy of bringing teachers and students back together again. These are the plans we have as we prepare to bring students back for our first day of learning together again. Thank you for your cooperation and support. We're looking forward to an interesting and exciting school year.